Why are you still checking the pulse of a ghost? Why are you still handing the keys to your internal kingdom to someone who chose to walk out the gates? You think you're fighting them, but you're actually fighting your own addiction to their validation. You want them to see your progress. You want them to feel the weight of your absence. But by wanting any of that, you are still their prisoner. You are still performing for an audience that no longer exists. The answer isn't to hate them. Hatred is a hot coal you hold, waiting to throw it at them, but only burning yourself. The solution is much colder. It's the surgical removal of their existence from your emotional frequency. It's not a performance, it's a disappearance of the soul. Today, we master the ultimate weapon of the high-value man, the art of indifference. They expect a reaction. They are waiting for it. Whether it's a long paragraph, a drunk call, or a passive-aggressive post on social media, they are looking for proof that they still matter. When someone leaves you, they do so with the subconscious belief that they are better than the version of you they left behind. They expect you to beg, or at the very least to be visibly affected. Your pain validates their decision. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." If you react, you are exactly like them, emotional and weak. When you give them a reaction, you hand them the remote control to your life. Indifference breaks the machine. When they push the button and nothing happens, no anger, no sadness, just absolute hollow silence, their world starts to crumble. They realize they didn't just lose a partner, they lost their power. Most men think the opposite of love is hate. It isn't. The opposite of love is indifference. Hate requires energy. Hate requires you to remember their name, their face, and the way they hurt you. Every time you think about how much you despise them, you are paying them rent in your head. Indifference is the death of interest. It is the moment you realize that their opinion of you has exactly the same value as the opinion of a stranger on the street. 0. Think about the thousands of people you pass in your life. You don't hate them. You simply don't see them. That is the goal. You must reach a point where if they walk past you tomorrow, your heart rate wouldn't increase by a single beat. This isn't about acting cool. It's about becoming so focused on your own empire, your body, your wealth, your mind, that you genuinely don't have the bandwidth to wonder what they are doing. How do you build this shield? You start by realizing that you are the only one responsible for your peace. If someone can make you angry, they own you. A high-value man is a fortress. He has walls that are not built of ego, but of self-sufficiency. Epictetus taught us that we are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. They didn't break your heart. They simply revealed a vulnerability in your character that you now have the opportunity to fix. The shield of indifference is forged in the gym at 5 a.m. It's forged in the undisputed discipline of your physical transformation, pushing through the pain when the world thinks you're broken. It's forged in the silence of your room when you choose to work on your business instead of scrolling through their feed. Every time you choose yourself over the memory of them, a brick is added to that wall. While they are out there seeking noise, new places, new validation, you are becoming comfortable with the silence. A predator doesn't scream before it strikes. It waits. It observes. It grows. True indifference isn't just about ignoring them. It's about outgrowing them so fast that the person they left no longer exists. Every rep in the gym where you push past the pain, every hour you spend mastering a new skill, every night you choose discipline over cheap dopamine, you are evolving into a species they cannot track. They expect you to stay in the same emotional frequency. But when you are focused on building an empire, your frequency changes. You start to vibrate at the level of a man who is going somewhere. The silence of your growth is the loudest answer you can ever give. We live in an age of digital breadcrumbs. They check your stories. They look for a leak in your stoic dam. Most men fail here. They post motivational quotes to prove they're okay. They post photos with other women just to trigger a reaction. Stop. That is not indifference. That is a performance. And a performance is still a scream for attention. A high-value man doesn't need to prove he's winning. He just wins. If you post for your mission. If you build for your legacy. The most terrifying thing for an ex-partner is a man who simply stops. No drama, no blocking wars, just a total cessation of access. You become a ghost in their machine. You are not hiding your life. You are simply living it in a world where they no longer have a front row seat. Complexity is your armor. When someone thinks they know you, they think they can control you. They expect the tension. They expect the awkwardness when you finally cross paths again. But a Stoic is unpredictable because he is governed by logic, not impulse. When the day comes that you finally meet, whether in an office or a shared space, your indifference must be surgical. You aren't mean. You aren't cold. You are polite but empty. You treat them with the same professional courtesy you would give to a stranger. No history in your eyes, no resentment in your voice, just a calm, "Hello, how are you?" And then you move on. This is the moment their ego dies. They realize that in your mind, they have been demoted from a main character to a background extra. You have become a mystery they can no longer solve. There is a final stage of indifference. It's when you stop trying to be indifferent. It's the day you wake up and realize you haven't thought about them for days. Not because you were trying to forget, but because your life has become too interesting to waste time on ghosts. This is where you sever the last link. You stop wondering if they regret it. You stop wondering if their new path is better than yours. You stop wondering what they're doing, because you realize that their journey is no longer your concern. Your happiness is not a dividend paid out by their presence or absence. It is a product of your own labor. Discard the misperception that you needed them to be whole. The truth is, their departure was the vacuum needed to pull the real you out of the shadows. So, here is your mission. Starting today, you stop being a reactor. You become the actor. Go to the gym, eat your 200 grams of protein, build that business, master that language. Not to show them what they lost, but to discover what you are truly capable of. One day, you will look back at this moment and you won't even recognize the man who felt this pain. You will be a stranger to your own suffering. That is the art of indifference. It isn't about being heartless. It's about having a heart so full of purpose that there is no room left for people who didn't know how to protect it. Stay silent, stay hungry, and above all, stay indifferent, forged in silence.